Welcome to the Captain Morgan's instant reaction to what? The new Dream Theater single that just dropped like an hour ago. I can't even believe it. Wasn't expecting this at all. And I thought I might as well get on top of this before there's like 100,000 reactions to this on YouTube. I might as well just try to make it an insta reaction like everybody else. If you haven't seen, I already did my reaction to the first one. I'll put a card up here to Night Terror. The new album is called Parasomnia. And I'm not going to go on a rant. If you really want to hear how I felt about Dream Theater as a whole, how long I've been listening to them since 1994. So I'm an old Dream Theater fan. I've been to about 16 concerts of theirs over the years. And really looking forward to this new album. But if you want to hear like a rant about how I feel about Dream Theater, where I came from, where I was, and where I'm going, that is in that other video that you should go watch. But I couldn't believe that this was happening. I'm pretty sure that this was not announced because I follow some stuff that's Dream Theater and I didn't see anything about, hey, this is going to be dropped tomorrow, the next single. Maybe I missed it, but I'm pretty sure that this was just kind of like, hey, surprise. And the only reason I found out about it is because I was on the Discord for this channel, which, by the way, if you are new here, we do have a Discord where we discuss music and other sorts of things. If you go to the description of this video, there is a link to an Excel document that has the Discord link if you want to join the Discord, as well as it has a list of all the songs that we've done as reactions on this channel over the last 6 years, and all the future songs or the schedule that we have that's coming up for the future. And if you're someone that wants to join that, the live streams that we have typically on Saturdays and Mondays at this moment, if you look over here, if you go to the channel page, just the basic channel, there will be a video, an introduction video. If you watch that video will tell you everything you need to know about if you want to submit a song for a reaction, if you want to join us for a live stream. That is all going to be on that Excel document and in that channel introduction video. So go and do that. But again, I don't want to go off on a whole tangent before. If you want to hear that tangent, go watch that first video because I talk long enough on it. Let's just get into this instant reaction and see how it compares to the first song that we heard from Dream Theater. I am very interested to see if it's going to sound pretty much like the same or if it's going to be different. So that is the question. Here we go. Okay. That sounds very Honor Thy Father kind of second section after the fill. The guitar sound, I should say. And yes, I did put a filter on this because it's probably going to get blocked. Nice fast double bass. Okay, that's a very in the presence of enemies kind of fill. Oh, that was a nice transition into this kind of jungle groove. We've got some talking like you do in Pale Blue Dot. Got that nice little max stacks that you're hearing there. Nice, picking it up a little bit. Very Mike Portnoy fill. Woo! I love when he does that, those long fills. He's so excellent at it. There's that fill again. He's done that 3 times now. Very Count of Tuscany right here to get into the next section. Nice, got halftime. Halftime is life, baby. Ooh, down. Syncopation. title of the song, Broken Man. I'm gonna say I already like this better than Night Terror. See where it goes. Guess the dogs like it too. So I definitely like it better than Night Terror. It's a little more interesting, but it's also, there's nothing really catching me, blowing me away. Love when he does that. Those octavons sound so good. Something beliefs are getting worse. So there's the chorus. Okay, that's the second time I've heard the chorus. Not a bad chorus, but not amazing either. Okay. Like this section. Yeah, this is a very rhythmic wise and like time signature wise. This is like a Count of Tuscany kind of. Where you add the beat, take away a beat kind of thing. Okay. Ooh, and I even like the piano background. Very kind of bluesy and funky, which is what I've been asking for. Nice. Raise the subdivision. Favorite section of the song right here for sure. Okay, interesting, good to go back. That was definitely my favorite section. Even Jordan just kind of doing something a little bit different in the back, which is nice. Okay, back to the chorus for a third time, following that kind of same structure of a song, which is what I think you should do. Wish I'd never been born. Interesting. Cross is mine to bear. I've done all that I can, I swear. like they're wrapping it up. There's that fill again. Oh, you could actually hear John Myung at the end. I mean, I know you could hear him throughout, but man, I wish they would put him higher in the mix. Always, it's what everyone's been asking for. Okay, so that is the second single that we have listened to from the new album called Broken Man. I will say that I definitely like it better than I did Night Terror. However, I will also say that it's not like great. It's just kind of running the same line that I was kind of expecting them to do. If you haven't watched the last video, I'm going to repeat this as I did in the last video. Coming into this new album, I was a little skeptical and a little nervous that this album was going to sound no different than what we've had for the last 15 years or so with Dream Theater, specifically when Portnoy left. But it was happening even a little bit before he left as well, which I think is part of the reason he did leave, because he was like tired of writing the same stuff. But specifically in the last 15 years, this kind of sounds similar to that. And I'll explain what I mean by that in a second. But I remember thinking, and I said in the last video, that one of the things that made me a little skeptical was that after 13 years of Mike Portnoy being gone and then he comes back, they wrote this album in a month or so. And that did not give me good vibes, because I was like, after that many years off, if you wrote it in a month and a half, that means you came back and you were just like, hey, let's just kind of write what feels natural to us and not really think about it and plan it as much. Which, especially for Petrucci, who's kind of the composer as well as, I would say, Jordan, as far as the music is concerned, that's going to sound kind of what you've been producing the last 13 years. So that's what made me a little skeptical or kind of nervous about this sounding like everything else. Now, the last album, I made a mistake in my last reaction, what I said. It wasn't really a mistake. I just didn't speak as clearly and didn't communicate as much as I should have. But what I meant to say in the last reaction was, the last album that I reacted to was Distance Over Time, but that wasn't their last album. I didn't say very clearly that their last album was actually A View from the Top of the World, but I didn't do any reactions to that. Mostly because I think I had, by accident, had heard a couple of the songs from it, and I was just like, kind of sounds similar to what they've been kind of doing for the last several years. And so I didn't really feel the need or didn't have the desire to actually react to any of those songs before that came out. So the last reactions I did, which I'll put another card up here for that, was Distance Over Time. I did a reaction to Untethered Angel, to Fall Into the Light, and then Paralyzed, I think are the three that I did. And what I find fascinating about this, I don't know if this is just coincidence or if this is just kind of a view from the top of the world, that it kind of is following that same pattern. So when Untethered Angel came out, which was their first release off of Distance Over Time, it sounded very much like Night Terror. Like, I feel like Night Terror and Untethered Angel, which is what I said in the last reaction, are very, very similar. Very radio friendly, very like just kind of that style. You'll know what I mean if you listen to it. And then what's ironic is I like this song better than that, in the same way that I liked Fall Into the Light better than Untethered Angel, which was the second review. I feel like this song is the same. It's like Falling Into the Light or Fall Into the Light. It's longer, kind of goes out into a little bit more space, isn't like this clear-cut verse, catchy chorus kind of thing, like Fall Into the Light. Good section of instrumentalism that this isn't shorter than I would say that Fall Into the Light was. But does that mean the next song, if they drop another one, is going to be just like Paralyzed, which is balls to the wall, heavy, kind of like a Metallica-ish kind of song? Are they like doing that on purpose? Are they? But it's weird because it's not the last album. The last album was A View from the Top of the World. So all that being said, I like this song more than Night Terror. But it still sounds kind of like what they've been doing for the last several years. I know that's going to piss off, just like the last video pissed off several Dream Theater fans. I'm an old Dream Theater fan, and I have been asking for many, many years now for them to go back to like their Images and Words, Awake, jazzy, kind of very different style that I think put them on the map kind of writing that came from their Berklee roots. And this is just not that. What they've done for the last, I would say 15 years is they've kind of like traded places where you get small sections of that kind of style, the Images and Words kind of stuff in the songs, kind of like in this song. My favorite part of the song was the jazzy blues kind of stuff that they did in the solo section. Beautiful. It was catchy. It was good. It was new. It was refreshing. And then it stopped. That used to be the norm for like their, even when Dream and Day Unite, which I think is one of the most underrated albums. Yes, it's terrible and it's engineering, but it's still, the music is so good. Very innovative. Images and Words, Awake. That was like the major of that. And then like the other stuff was more like the very rhythmic, heavy stuff was more of like the minor. And I feel like in the last 15 years, they just completely switched that. They make this rhythmic kind of throughout riffs the main focal point, and then very little of the innovation, go crazy, do stuff that people don't do. So it just gives me less reason to hope that this album is going to be anything different than what we've gotten the last 15 years, even with Portnoy back. That was my fear. I could be completely wrong, but this is not giving me hope in the future. This doesn't give me any more validity to the hope of that happening when this album fully is released. And I could be wrong, and I'm still going to listen to it. And my guess is I'm just going to have 3 or 4 songs off this album that are just absolutely badass, and I will listen to. But that's about it. Just like with Distance Over Time, my favorite songs off that were not Untethered Angel, Fall Into the Light, or Paralyzed. Those were more like middle to upper, middle to lower of the pack. For me, it was At Wit's End, Barstool Warrior. Oh my God, that song is so good. I've cried several times listening to the ending of Barstool Warrior. And even with a View from the Top of the World, it was kind of like, I can't think of the titles now of those songs. Invisible Monster was pretty good. Awakening was good. Is it Awakening? Is that right? Let me think about this. A View from the Top of the World. I want to look to make sure I don't say these titles because I'm terrible with titles, no matter who it is. Awaken the Monster was good. A View from the Top of the World as a main 20-minute song was just kind of okay in their list of 20-minute songs for me. It was good, but it wasn't great. And The Alien to me would be like the same as like Untethered Angel. It's totally different than Untethered Angel, but as far as how it sat with me, even though they won a Grammy for it, I was just like, it's more middle of the pack, lower of that album. When it came to Distance Over Time, it was just like Room 127 or whatever it's called, Viper King. Those songs were just like meh, didn't really care for them, haven't really listened to them since. Barstool Warrior, great. I feel like this album is going to be kind of like that, where you're going to have 3 or 4 songs, 2 or 3 songs that are just like Barstool Warrior, At Wit's End, that are just at Wit's End, that is just so good. But everything else is just going to kind of like be meh. I hope I'm proven wrong, but that's what you're going to get from me. I'm going to give you the honest answer. I hope you like and subscribe, even though you may not like my answer. We do all sorts of reactions here, and I would love to hear if you guys have any reactions to new and progressive music. Dream Theater is always going to have their place in this world because they are poster boys. They used to be amazingly progressive. They just haven't been progressive in the last 15 years. They're just mainstream Dream Theater, progressive rock, but it's not really progressive as in moving forward. Bands that are doing that now are, Sleep Token. I would even say Mr. Tim Hansen is doing it. These are the new progressive people in the scene right now. And that's what we try to do on this channel, is find some new stuff, and I would love to hear you guys do that. So please like and subscribe, and this is the captain saying peace out.